who is the owner of Moloele Trading. And I just want to find out if she can be able to hear me from her end. Hello, Ntombi.
Hi, Thandisa, I can hear you very well.
All right. Good afternoon, ma'am. Thank you so much for joining us today. We welcome you to the show.
Thank you for the invite.
All right. I usually begin by allowing a person to tell us a little bit about themselves, just in a high-level background, and also how you journeyed until you got into the world of business.
Well, like you've introduced, my name is Ntombi Ntuli, born and bred in a small town in Mpumalanga called Refier. Finished my schooling there, moved to Johannesburg, and I've been on the journey of business since the age of 18.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah, my mother of a 1-year-old, of a 6-year-old, my wife, so just trying to juggle
Everything.
those 4 things together. It's quite a lot.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is, but it's all doable, hey?
Yeah, true.
It is all doable. All right. Tell us a little bit about Moloele Trading and the kind of services that you offer.
So Moloele Trading was founded in 2016. It's a laundry business, but specifically we do industrial and commercial. Now we started as domestic. Now domestic means an individual will come and drop off their clothes, will wash them, and then they'll come pick them up later. But we are now industrial and commercial, meaning we deal with bulk. So your hospitals, your engineering sector, their PPEs, any accommodation, whether it be, your B&B or a hotel will, go and pick the laundry up and then drop them off. So we started as domestic, we now industrial, and the reason I decided to do that, first of all, it was a bit difficult for me to manage the domestic. I could not get my numbers correctly.
It was too much.
Yeah, no, it was a lot because I'm a busy person. I'm not always there, so I could not manage it properly. Whereas now with industrial and commercial, it's much easier for me to just, know what is going on, even though I'm not there.
I see. And when you talk about or when you talk about the business that you're running, what sort of qualities would you say one needs to have as they're running this kind of a business? And now I'm asking this question to help the person maybe who might have an interest into getting into the space so that they can be able to benchmark themselves and see. I know it's not comprehensive, but Nje, as someone who has been in the space, what would you say are some of the qualities that a person needs to have in order for them to survive in the space?
First of all, I think you need to be hands-on.
Okay.
When I say hands-on, I mean know what is happening in your business. I spend my time with the driver. I spend my time at the laundry. That helps me because if they are running across a problem, I know exactly what it is that can be done because I've been there myself. So you need to be somebody who's hands-on. Don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. Sure. I go one day to look for business in my 12-inch heel, and then I come back the next day as the driver, and I'm like, I'm here again.
In the business.
Yes, in the business. You need to be a team player as well, obviously working with a lot of different people, from your clientele side and also your staff. So you need to be a team player. Communication is huge. Clients are different. You'll have a certain contract that Ntombi will come on a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and they call you on a Thursday, listen, we've got a problem. You need to come pick up things and we need them by tomorrow. So you need to be able to communicate well with clients and just be flexible as well. I mean, I've just mentioned now that, things change really quickly. Yeah. So, but that helps as well because your clients know that they can really rely on you. If there's something you can do, great. If there's nothing you can do, you also need to communicate.
I
Yeah.
think those are wonderful qualities. And I think, you've just raised a point that someone external to the space might not have had insight to, which is things changing at a split second, at a moment. And when on your side as the business owner, you need to be able to respond through communicating, whether it's a positive or a negative communication, but being able to be fluid in a sense, and handling those situations very well. And
Absolutely.
what would you say is your strategy for managing your personal and business life? Like, how do you balance? If there other people say there's no balance ever, other people say they just juggling, and they see it as they go. But I want to hear, what would you say on that as well?
I think I'm still struggling and I forever struggle.
It's a
If
forever
there's
struggle, eh?
anybody out there that says, no, God does, they must come and tell me how. Honestly, I'm still struggling up until today, because even in my dining room table, there's a little office there, even though I've got my office, because you're
Mm,
forever having to do it.
mm.
Unless I tell myself that, listen, you need to, tools down.
Off, switch
But
off.
yes, yeah, but otherwise you can't. There's people that are relying on you. And that's my biggest strive with my business. The
Mm,
people that are at the laundry now, working. So
mm.
sometimes I feel like if I'm lacking or I'm slacking, then I'm failing them, because
Yeah.
every day just counts. And I guess
Mm.
that's, yeah, something that I struggle with a lot.
Maybe some genius is going to come up with a solution that that is workable in the not so distant future. Let's keep hoping that something like that is going to come up. I don't know. Also, and what would you say? Have you ever had a situation where sometimes these things happen in our homes, but I mean now you doing this professionally in our homes, when our housekeepers do our laundry, they mix colors and then it's a mess. Have you ever had situations like that? And if not, if something like that were to happen, what would you do? Or what strategies do you have in place to ensure that that does not even happen? I mean, especially if you are able to have the business run external to you, which is you be here, but the business is running, accidents can happen.
We've had so many of those, even though you've got strategies in place, but
Mm,
it's people that are working there.
sure.
And
Human
in my
error.
it's mostly, women. We are
Mm,
mothers, we've got kids, they've got their own things.
mm,
So it happens a lot where those kind of things happen. But like I said, communication, you really have to be honest with the client. Listen, this is what is happening. And also what I quite like mostly with the contracts that we have now is on the contract, they'll mention that if you lose an item or if you ruin an item, you have to
you
pay for it.
replace
So
it.
in my mind, really, it's telling me that they know that these things can happen.
Sure,
Not
sure,
saying, oh, it has
sure.
happened before. So it's not like it's the end of the
Some
world that it's
new.
not happening. Of course, I scream and shout but at the end of the day, you communicate with the client, listen, this is what has happened. 1, 2, 3 can be done,
Mm,
or we can pay for it. However, in the industrial and the commercial sector, you can't just go and buy what's this washing powder at the shop. It
okay.
has to come from a chemical factory, and that factory will give you something that we call a material data sheet that will
Okay.
tell you exactly how that product needs to be washed. I know, you buy washing powder and we just pour it and we wash clothes and that's how we do it. But that's not exactly how things are done. You have to look at the kind of material.
The
you know,
labels and stuff.
Yes, the label and stuff is very important. Sometimes we just throw in there. And also our equipment, they are made to ensure that certain settings are done so
Okay.
that we don't have those kind of problems. But we have had those
Issues.
issues. Yes, yeah.
I think I also learned something. I didn't know. I didn't know that, there was even a need to look at a label. I think I just assess it when it comes to mine. I just look at it and, the softer ones, the silkier ones, please be careful
Oh
when you
no.
use these ones. And otherwise, other than that, it's just bonje, So
Oh
I
no,
didn't
it doesn't
I
work
didn't
like
know.
that. Remember one thing, Thandisa, that when it comes to these items, they are
Mm,
meant to last longer. They are being washed every day,
mm,
and
mm.
the client wants to keep them for like 3,
As
4
long
years.
as possible.
So imagine
Sure.
washing something every day, but the client expects to keep them for 4 years. So you really need to take care of them. You can't just treat the material as you would with your own clothes.
Yeah, ish, that's a powerful one. I learned something today. That's good. That's good. And then, what would you say, maybe some challenges that you faced in the business? I don't know, maybe one that stands out, or in the past, currently, that you'd want to mention. I think the reason why I ask is so that even a person that wants to dive into the space understands that it's not all roses. It's like a real rose, maybe a rose with the nice petals and the thorns on the on the stalk. So yeah.
I think just dealing with people, and I know this goes with a lot of other businesses. You're not on your own. You're working with people. You've got different views. I think that's one thing that I struggle with the most.
Okay. Okay.
Also, the practical one would be load shedding.
Okay.
When you're dealing with a hotel, when you check in at a certain time, you check out at a certain time. So now, at 11, when the clients, the guests
check out,
I need to be there, take those items, and I need to bring them before if somebody checks
the
in
next one,
the following day.
2.
But then I've got load shedding, and somebody might say, just get a generator. It's not that easy with the industrial and the commercial, especially for a small, business like mine, because now you're working with 3-phase electricity that requires something huge. You even run one. Yes, yeah, and huge means huge money, more money, So those are our challenges at the moment. Not easy, but we're getting there.
Ntombi, tell me something. When it comes to your kind of machines, have you explored the option of solar? Would that work? Is there something called like a 3-phase powering solar? I don't know. I also don't know. I'm just asking.
Yes, there definitely is.
Okay.
And it requires,
it's also expensive.
It's also very, very expensive. Some equipment, our competitors, but the big ones, they now work with coal. They don't even, rely on solar. Yes,
okay,
and the efficiency as well that comes with using that, it's
something
out of this world. When I came into the industry, I thought, we're just washing clothes and da 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 da. And when I went in the shock of my life.
All right. I see. No, you will figure something out as you go. All right. And before we get your contact details and maybe a way to engage with your business further, what guidance would you offer to someone who wants to explore the space, whether they want to explore it in terms of wanting to go to school to professionally, prepare for getting into this space, or like to climb the corporate ladder in the space, or for someone who would like to start a similar business?
I would say do it. That's the first thing. And I say this with really an open heart. Do it. I'm one person that believes that if you do something and it doesn't work, you are at peace knowing that it didn't work. Unlike looking back 5 years down the line and thinking,
what if?
Where would I be had I, tried? And there's so many opportunities in the business that we don't really think about. I was talking to one guy the other day. He manufactures the chemicals. He comes out with the sporting creams, the sporting washing machine. Because one thing that you need to remember is we need to, when items are brought to us, we need to take out blood, it's lipstick, it's oil. There's so many things, and that's not just a washing powder that takes care of that. So he does the manufacturing part of it. So what I'm trying to say is that there's so much that you can do in this little sector of
the value chain, the components of the value chain are many.
So do it, and do it wholeheartedly. Like I said, I started in 2016 as a domestic. I only started climbing up to the industrial and the commercial in 2019, 2020. Then COVID came, we closed, we back again. So I feel like if you don't do it wholeheartedly, you might just miss something.
Wonderful. Ntombi, thank you so much for coming through. If someone wants to maybe support your business or inquire about something or make use of your services, how do we contact you?
Okay, I'm on Instagram
Yes.
as Moloele Industrial and Commercial Laundry. I'm on Facebook, Moloele Industrial and Commercial Laundry Services.
Yes.
Email info@moloeletrading.co.za. We also have a website, www.moloeletrading.com. Yeah, on my I'm also reachable on my cell phone for business, 083 411 7812.
She's available on WhatsApp or on calls on this number for business. Strictly, you you're sending those vibes that please guys make sure it's not abused.
Yes, so that it gets me excited to actually pick up the call because I'm not thinking it's gonna be a hi, how are you? You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Ntombi. I truly appreciate you coming through, my dear.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right.
Okay, then.
Thanks. I'm pull up with Organic Radio.